Hi, I'm Raquel, and this is Law Librarian Plans. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm introducing you to my planner lineup so that you have a basis for understanding what I'm doing in future videos in this channel. Yes, this is my first YouTube video. The universe sent me a message loud and clear multiple times this week. So I'm going ahead and trying it out and see what happens. I hope you like it, and I hope you decide to join me again in future videos. So I wanted to start my tour of my lineup by showing you my Franken planner. I have three separate binders that I use for planning. I have my Franken planner, which is what you see here. I have a work planner, which is in its own cover and set of discs. And then I have a home planner. And these planners consist of pieces from many different systems. I'm not going to show you everything today, but I wanted to give you a sense of what I'm working from. So this is my beautiful Franken planner. This is a Jane's Agenda wrap cover, and it fits off five of my main planners plus some additional things that I keep here, as well as a very large goals section because it includes things from this year as well as my life goals and things like that. And again, I'm going to introduce you to all of these things as we go along, but I wanted to give you a sense of what exactly my channel is going to be about. The first planner I wanted to introduce you to is my goals planner. This is the Find Your Happy, I think this is the Boardwalk ice cream planner from last year. And I use this for goal setting. I have been using the Maxi Life system for 3 or 4 years now, but I don't like spiral planners necessarily. I had a hard time with them, to be honest with you. So I found a way to replicate the system using a disc-bound planner. And so this is the one that I'm using this year. This is the monthly layout. So just to show you what that looks like, the usual stuff, and it's Happy Planner. But this is the monthly layout that it has this dashboard, monthly dashboard for the beginning of the month after your monthly sheets. So, and then in the subsequent pieces, which I guess these are the weeklies, then you have these checklists. And the way that I use this is I assign each one of these an area of Maxi Life to follow. So this is my goals planner. More of this in the weeks to come. Next up is my catch-all planner. And I am using this year the dashboard layout by Keleva Plan. And this is truly a catch-all for me. So her planners, if you haven't seen them before, have a blank page before the actual calendar. So actually the dividers are double-sided, which I absolutely love because you can reuse these. And then you have your monthly, and then you have your weekly dashboard. The other difference is that the dashboard for Keleva Plan has the regular dashboard on the right with the blank box on the bottom, and then a blank page. So you can do anything you want with that. And you'll see how I use that when we look at my catch-all planner and I decorate some of it in some future videos. Next up is my journal. So not really a planner, but it's more of a journal. And I am using this beautiful one from Happy Planner. And I'm sorry, I don't remember. This is an 18-month planner, so it's not new. It's probably not available for purchase. But for my journaling, or what been calling journaling, I use a horizontal. So see, this is the old style. This is a 2024 plan, 24-25 planner. So it doesn't have the checklist on the right that allows me to write. And I do decorate this, so I'll show you. The reason why I say it's not really a journal is because I don't do the free journaling that you can do, like a whole thing about emotions and things like that. And mostly because I hadn't thought about it, to be honest with you. It took me forever to get used to the idea of writing something about myself every day. So this little diary, I guess is what you would call it, has worked very well for me. But I may go into journaling next year because what I'm finding is as things get more complicated, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had more space to write. And I don't. So stay tuned. All right. Next up in my lineup is this Keleva Plan vertical planner. Again, this is a 2025. Her new planner should be coming out sometime early in the fall or even late summer. So stay tuned. Again, you have your double-sided divider, a blank page at the beginning, then your calendar, and then just a vertical, just your regular vertical. And of course, there's an extra page, and I forgot to show you that in the previous one, which is also blank. So you really can do pretty much anything with these. And again, as I continue to introduce you to my planners in this channel, I will show you how I use those pages. So that is my social media planner. Then my next planner that I wanted to show you is my fitness planner. And this fitness planner, you can see it's falling apart a little bit. I want to say this is from 2 years ago, but don't quote me on that. No, it's from last year. It's a 2024. And I found it on Mercari because I am pretty much attached to this format. But I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. So typical happy planner, you have your divider. The currently page is before the month. So this is the June currently page. I fill this out at the end of the month. Then you have your monthly and then your weekly. And so you can see the dates are 2024 dates, so it's a little bit off, but this is what I've been using. My very first planner, decorative planner, was a Happy Planner fitness planner. So I've had a hard time trying to let go of this. There are no new ones. There is an old style fitness planner that was in a box set that I still have 11 months out of, plus 1 month of, I think it was this setup, because I was experimenting with it and then decided to go back to this. But now I'm stuck. So I'll go back to that probably next year. And then the year after that, who knows? But like I said, I've been using a fitness planner. That was my very first decorative planner in 2016. And it has always been by my side. Other planners have changed. This one pretty much has stayed the same. The original one was indeed that old style that I'm going to be using next year. Then the next planner I wanted to show you is my budget planner. And I'm going to see if I can talk about this one and maybe grab my Franklin planner, maybe not. So this is a Calva Plan budget planner. This is a 2024 undated. So they're all undated, but this was a 2024 style. There was a 2025 style, which is sold out. Again, I fully expect a 2026 one will come out sometime soon, most likely sometime in late summer, early fall. That's about the same time that they came out last year. So I'm just speculating on that. I have no inside intel on that. So I absolutely love this. I was a Happy Planner budget planner person. My first one was the Know Your Worth black and gold one because I liked the style where I could write all of my transactions. But I'm loving this one even more. I'll try to find you a month that doesn't have all my personal information in it. So I think this is August. So the way that this planner, I'm not going to show you the monthly at this point because that's something, and I'm probably not going to show you this planner in my channel too much. Mostly because I'm doing something very different with the budget page. The 2025 planners are perfection, and I'm going to be using that one next year. So I will be able to show you how I set up my budget every month once I start using that. But for now, I'm going to stick to this. So again, double-sided divider, a page in the beginning. In the instance of this one, it actually has some text on it, and then the calendar, and then the weeklies. And what I love about this is this in this setup is the fact that I can enter the transactions here. It is extremely rare that I'm going to have a date when I'm going to fill out more than these boxes. So they're all going to fit into one day. But what I love about this is this area in the bottom. And that allows me to keep track of my budget because I write down the totals by the categories that I use. And then I figure out from the categories what I budgeted and how much I have left over for the month. So it helps me pay attention to my budget for the different areas that I use. So I absolutely love this planner. This planner also has some additional pages and so forth. When I do my lineup for 2026, I will show you the the planner that I bought for this year that I'm using next year, and you'll be able to see all the sections. You can see here I have some tabs and so forth. But we'll do a whole budget setup and all that for 2026. For now, know that I do use this planner pretty much consistently. Every week I go in and enter my transactions. I don't do it daily. I don't spend money daily. I do it once a week. I go add up all the totals and figure out to see where I am, and I do my math to see am I still on budget. And to be honest with you, it has helped me a lot. I have stayed very much on budget this year. Now I have two more to show you, and hopefully my Franken planner. Sorry for all the dead air, but I wanted to show you. This is a Kelva plan cover. This is a plum paper cover, and this is my 5-year journal. And my 5-year journal, again, journal loosely used because it's not really a journal, it's more of a diary. But in this particular diary, what I write is one sentence a day. It has prompts. So right now, I'm on my 3rd year using this 5-year journal, and I can't wait to see what it looks like at the end of the 5 years, what the prompts were, and if things have changed. Some things don't change a lot. There's a question about a car. I don't drive, I've never owned a car. So, but otherwise, it's really fascinating to see my answers from year to year. So, again, this is my 5-year journal. It's a plum paper 5-year journal. They do spiral bound. Again, I like my disc bound. Last planner, individual planner that I have is brand new. And if you're a happy planner person, you probably recognize this. This is the Cafe Core planner. And when I first picked up this planner, I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do with it. In fact, I just bought it because I love the cover, and I really do love the cover, but I'm not going to be using the cover all the time. Strange story, but true. So this planner originally was a vertical planner. However, when I picked up this planner, I also picked up a dashboard planner. It's the one with the embroidered flowers in the front. And I have that. I'm not going to be using that this year at all. So what I did was I switched the guts because I wanted to still use the dividers that appear in this planner and everything that's the Cafe Core look, but I wanted a dashboard. So you will see that I have my Cafe Core divider. Since all of the happy planners for this coming for the 25-26 year, so 12 months, have exactly the same look, I just changed the guts. So that was pretty much it. So just to show you, it is a dashboard planner, not a vertical, which is what this was originally. Vertical is my least preferred layout. I use it for social media. So I will probably eventually use the guts that came with this for social media at some point. But for now, this planner is going to be my new work planner. I have been without a full work planner now for 2 years, well, a year and a half. And that was because I couldn't figure out what exactly I wanted. And it's taken me a long time to arrive at this. And what I've noticed is that I don't like any particular layout enough to use it for any length of time because my job changes over time. I'm a law librarian. Yes, I am. That's why my title is Law Librarian Plans. So I'm actually the director of a library. So I have months when I have packed days full of meetings or packed days full of tiny little tasks that I have to do. Um, and there are many times, for example, right now, right, where it's summer, we're in the middle of summer, we're done with the previous year, we're not quite ready to start preparing for the next year. So I don't have a lot of appointments. So a weekly planner with a lot of space on each day is not the thing for me at this stage. And a daily, forget it. I don't need a daily right now and whatnot. What I need is a space to put what my priorities are for the week, my top 3 for the week, a space to put anything that I'm going to move forward that has come in that doesn't go in this list, new stuff goes in here so that it doesn't get buried with the stuff that is already happening this week, and then some extra space. And then on the right side, I'm going to put my schedule here. My schedule is the same in terms of the hours, but what varies is where I'm working. I work in my office, I work remotely at home, and sometimes I work remotely in another campus. So this allows me to just see my schedule at a glance. For now, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to write here possibly a top 3 for the day, or I might write what my schedule is here if I have a few meetings and so forth. Now, let's say that I have a week where I have a few days where I have some meetings. I also have to get some stuff done in between. that this is not going to be enough, that I'm going to have to schedule in advance, that's when I'm perhaps might use a dated, an hourly, daily. Or I might have a day where the stuff is flying in like crazy and I just need to be able to start adding stuff and this tiny little space is not going to help. I might use just a daily sheet for that. I am unlikely to use any other weekly. I think this is going to be perfect for me. So that's what I chose, why I chose the dashboard. And my next video, I'm actually going to be setting up this planner because this planner is not going to be just this. It is going to have some additional pages for dailies. It's also going to have some project pages. I'm going to add some notes, and I'm also going to add some pages for the getting things done method. So if you want to see how I set up this planner, come back for that video later this week. All right, so this is my work planner. Last but not least is my home Franken planner, and I'm going to show you that. It is also in a Jane's Agenda cover. This is a smaller cover. Her covers fit, I believe, 1.5 and 2-inch desks. Maybe they might be a smaller, thinner wrap cover. So this is the smaller cover. And here, what I have done is I am using a the cover of the adulting, I think it's family planner, family life planner from Keleva Plan. I think this is still available on the website. I don't have small children. And so there's a lot of parts of this planner that didn't work for me, but this cover is one of my favorites. And you can see I like animal print. So I'm using that cover. And then I have a monthly from Lights Planner Action that she sent me in error, and she was very sweet and let me get the planner, the monthly that I wanted. But when I opened this, I absolutely loved the layout. And so it has a monthly on one page, a section for notes, and a few other sections here. And I'm currently using this for pre-planning. So this is where I pre-plan everything. So I put all the dates, everything that's happening, work, personal, social. Actually, social is the only one that doesn't go here. My husband's medical appointments, my medical appointments, anything I can fit in here. And then when I'm setting up my planners, I use this as a reference to set them up. Then the next section I have on this home Franken planner is my budget. So you didn't see the budget in the other one. It goes in here. So we're not going to take a look at that today. And then the next section I have is my meal plan section. I'll show you, this is something I created for myself. And for the meal plan, I'm actually using these sheets from Plum Paper Planner. I got these a while back and they were sitting in my stash for the longest time. And I'm just getting into meal planning this year. So they're tiny. There's no room to put everything for every day. So mostly I use them to plan dinners. And then this has a space on this side to put the shopping list. So I've been using that quite a bit to write down what I need to order or what I need to buy. Then the next section is the home section. And don't look at my grocery spending is kind of crazy. In here, I have these inserts from Jane's Agenda. This is something I created for my, and I didn't finish or checking off things for home refresh. Then I have some spring reset, not spring reset, excuse me, some reset inserts from Jane's Agenda again. Then I have a decluttering insert from Amy Plans Things, which I've used to start setting up some decluttering projects. Then I have a project section, and this is not completely written out, but actually it's pretty good. I'll show you. This was my last home project, which was my craft room redo. Very, very articulate there. And it's just basically, this is how my main crafting table, what it looks like. Unfortunately, it's not a very big table this way. So I use this table for filming, and I have that table where I actually do most of my planning. Then I have some more of those planner pages. I have some notes pages. I need to fill this in because I've shopped at a few more small shops. And then I have a pantry inventory that I need to update. I'll be updating that this summer. And then a pocket. So this is my home Franken planner that I use. I probably won't be in this very often, at least not for now. I probably will be switching to a different meal planner for next year. So you'll get to see that at some point. So that is it, friends. That is my entire planner lineup. In a future video, probably this week. This week, I'm hoping to sort of set the stage for what this channel is going to be like. And so, probably in a future video this week, I will tell you a little bit more about how I use my planners every week. I use my Franken planners every week. My green one that you saw at the beginning of the video, I use every single day. And this one I use at least once a week to plan my budget, to reconcile my budget and to plan our meals. So I'll talk more about how I use them. But the next video, if you want to watch that, is going to be setting up my work planner. So if you like my content so far, or you are curious about what I'm going to do, hit that subscribe button, and that way you will see when my next video comes. If you like this video, hit a thumbs up and tell me, what are you hoping to see in this channel? This is a brand new channel, so this is the time to tell me a little bit about what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like, and perhaps what you would like to see now that you know the planners that I use and what I use them for. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends.